Hi guys, Stephanie here with New Tricks Dog Training. Today I am here with Miss Penny. She's never been on an e-collar before, so I'm about to show you guys how to set up an e-collar on a dog and how to find their working level. Right now, for the sake of this exercise, I'm going to take her prong collar off, but normally what you would want to do is you would want to have, if you're going to have all of them on, which you will sometimes when you're teaching a dog what the pressure on, pressure off of the e-collar means versus the pressure on, pressure off of a prong collar. But normally you would have prong collar, e-collar, and then their flat buckle collar. But right now, I'm going to put this off to the side so I can demonstrate how to put this on. Normally I do a bungee, but I'm just going to show you how to put this on right now. What you want to do is you want this to fit at the base of a dog's neck where the main muscles are, so on either side of the neck. And since Penny is long-haired dogs are a little trickier to fit. But I'll try and post a video of how to split the hair, as it's called. What you can also do with long-haired dogs is you can shave a patch. In the previous video, I talked about different types of contact points. These are the traditional long-haired ones that come with the e-collar, but there's also a winged one that kind of spreads the fur a bit. But we're going to just try with the regular ones today and splitting the hair. So you want to get to where you can kind of get a view of the neck. And I'm going to remove her regular collar just for a second. It's a little high up. Oh, I know. And so I'm going to look to split the hair. She has quite a bit. So splitting the hair is where you can see a dog's skin and where you kind of try to spread out and see the skin where the contact points are. So you can see this is kind of hard to video, but right now I will just spread it out of the way. Oh, you're a good girl. You can see this collar hasn't been trimmed down yet. This is brand new, out of the box. Her owners just bought it. Good girl. Good girl, Penny. Yeah, you're a good girl. So, you know, it's kind of hard to tell on dark-haired dogs exactly what's happening. But you can see this is where the light is flashing from. That's why I kind of like it pointing up, because the dog's usually looking at you. You can see that it's on. You want to make sure that it's fairly tight, which once again is a little trickier with long-haired dogs. I will also show this on a short-haired dog. And so, should be about 2 fingers. It's a little looser. Put it up one. And that's about right. And so, I'm going to take a look back at our box. Just kind of make sure the fur is separated out from under it. Make sure that everything's lying flat for best contact. It's where you can kind of get a better feel. Can mess around with it, see what works for you. And you might also have trouble with dogs with pudgier necks with lots of folds. That's why I really recommend buying a bungee collar. And after that fit, you kind of want to see again. So 2 fingers is more like 3. I think we're a little too loose still. So I'm going to bump up to 1 more hole. You also don't want it too tight because you don't want to make the dog uncomfortable. You're just looking for a good fit. And so once you know your dog, where they fit, you can cut it down so there's not so much of it. Right now, I'm just going to loop this through and fold the excess. And now I'm going to show you how to find Penny's working level. I'm going to switch this over here. Since it's on this side and she hasn't worn one before, I'm going to stand over here. Hi. I want you guys to focus on her, hence the reason I'm a headless figure in this video. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna dial up one by one on the e-collar. So you can see right now we're at 0. What we're gonna do to find her level is we're gonna dial up slowly. So we're gonna start at 1, and I'm going to tap the momentary button, and we're gonna dial up to 2 and 3 and 4 and so on until we find a level that gets a reaction out of her. And sometimes it can be a little hard to tell if a dog is feeling anything or not. Some dogs, you only notice it by if the muscle on the side of their neck is twitching, and if it gets to that point, they're definitely feeling it. They just might not understand the sensation, might not be showing it that well. Obviously something like that, you wouldn't see that with Penny because she has long hair. But what we're going to be looking for is some sort of recognition of the stim. So we're going to look for ears up, for Penny kind of looking to the side, some sort of sign that she notices that something is different. And ideally what you want to do the very first time is you want to do this in a room without any sort of distractions, without kids and dogs running around. You want to do it inside because there's not so many smells and sounds to overwhelm the dog. But here we go. So I'm at 1 right now. I tapped, nothing. Now I'm going to dial up to 2. Still no reaction. She's just kind of looking around. My cat's running around, which isn't exactly ideal, but I haven't e-collar trained my cat yet, so now we're gonna stim at 3. Tap, tap, nothing. 4, tap, tap. And that one I think she might be responding a little bit to my cat, but you kind of see her looking around a little. 5, tap, tap. 6, tap, tap. 7, tap, tap. Tap, tap. Nothing. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, oh, cat again, 12. And so far, she hasn't had really any sort of reaction. When you get that high with a dog in their first time, I'd start questioning the fit from the collar, especially since she has longer hair. Oh, that was at 13. So I'm gonna dial back down to 12 and see if I get a reaction. No? Let's see. 13. Good girl, good. 14. 13. So we can see she's not really feeling anything, so I'm going to re-examine the fit on her collar. Like I said, this is a little trickier with long-haired dogs. I might have to switch out her contact points for this video. And so I'm trying to split the hairs a little more, trying to get this snug. And you really want to take your time with this. There's no hurry in trying to just go up the dial and just make sure you see something. You really want it to be accurate for your dog. I feel like I have a lot of the hair out there. This is also one of those reasons why it's sometimes just a little easier to just shave part of your dog's hair. And it's really not noticeable because it's under all of that scruff. But sometimes people don't want to do that, and that's okay. So we're dialing all the way back to 2 and trying this again. No, once my cat's out of the way. Good girl, Penny. So nothing at 2. I'm at 3, tap tap. 4, tap tap. Nothing. So 5, 6. Nothing but my distracted cat. Yeah, no distractions is easier said than done sometimes. So nothing at 6 that overrides a cat. We're gonna bump up to 7. Nope, nothing there. 8, 9. Not sure if that was a reaction or a cat. So I'm going to try at 8 again. Nothing. 10. Nope. Oh. So it seems like 12 could possibly be a working level. Okay, that was a pretty consistent reaction. I'm going to dial back to 11 just to see if we get the same sort of reaction from 11 without my cat. So we're going to try again at 11 in just a second. She may or may not feel 12. Sometimes dogs are responding more to the click than the actual stim. That's something you want to be careful of. It's something I forget once in a while because my dog is deaf and cannot hear the click. So I try and kind of sit down off to the side or something. Like you're watching TV, something where your dog would normally ignore you. I'm tapping it and her ear is twitching. So now that my cat is gone, I'm going to try to tap tap at 11 and see if I get any sort of response. So I'm actually going to wait for her to look away from me. So pardon the moment of silence. Good girl. Okay, so 12 is definitely her level right now. We might find as we start to work with her that it goes down, but right now we're at a 12. And the first few times you work with your dog, you're gonna want to kind of start from a lower level and kind of tap your way up. Levels inside without distractions versus from levels outside where there's lots of different smells and sounds. Good girl. You'll find that the presence of other dogs might make a difference. It's kind of whatever your dog cares about might override the e-collar. But right now we're going to be working at level 12. So we're going to start doing some drills.